Now in one breaking news in downtown LA, where dueling rallies are facing off, LGBTQ groups are countering parents' rights protesters in a heated exchange over school curriculum. Good afternoon. This is the KTLA 5 News at 1. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. The dueling rallies getting heated at times and breaking out into shoving matches as police try and keep the two sides apart.
KTLA 5's Chip Yost joining us live now from downtown LA with more on this breaking story. Chip?
Yeah, right now we've got the LAPD with a skirmish line right here, right in front of LAUSD headquarters. There is a small group, smaller than what you're going to see in a moment, a smaller group of folks who are in favor of LGBTQ rights and against what some of the people in this other group are about to show you are here protesting, or something they're asking for. If you go over here, this is kind of the bigger rally. This is Leave Our Kids Alone. This is a group that started its rally earlier this morning by City Hall. They're basically asking for some of the same things some parents in other school districts have been asking for recently. They want parental rights in the sense that if a child comes to school, say a fifth grader, and tells the teacher they want to be treated as, say if a little boy named Johnny wants to be treated as a little girl named Susie, they want to be notified if that happens. They say it's a parental right that children of that age don't have the same privacy rights we do. If something like that happens, a big behavioral change, they believe parents should be notified. They want LAUSD to adopt a policy similar to what other school districts have that would require teachers and administrators to notify parents if something like that were to happen in school, where their child asked to be identified as a different gender than what they were born as. Now we're going to bring in Captain Manny Chavez. He's right over here. Captain Chavez, if you don't mind coming in here.
Sure, absolutely.
Now, Captain Chavez, this has kind of developed kind of over the last couple of hours. It started downtown. This group here was marching to LAUSD. At some point, you all decided you needed to kind of keep these two groups separate. Tell us what happened and kind of what's going on now.
Yeah, absolutely. So initially, this started at Grand Central Park in downtown Los Angeles. We have the parental rights group that you see over here and an opposing group. We had some information and some intel that there would be an opposing group. So our stance was to just facilitate the First Amendment rights, keep the peace. The parental rights group then marched down Spring Street to 3rd, came over. Unfortunately, the opposing group met this group here, at which point there were some things done, items thrown, some violence, which forced us to declare an unlawful assembly.
Okay, and then also we saw, our cameras are here, and saw a couple of people being taken into custody. I think at least 2. Maybe there's more. You'll let me know if there's more. But tell me, what was the situation there where these folks were taken into custody?
You know, preliminary information is that some of them were becoming violent, pushing officers. They may have been throwing some items, and at which point that's when our officers went in and made arrests.
Okay, so going forward, what do you expect? What do you want the folks in the downtown area? Because now you've got a number of streets here, right? This is, I believe, right over the 110 freeway we're over right now. So a lot of streets here in the downtown area shut down because of this. What can people expect going forward?
Obviously, in the next few hours, you know, we're going to take our time out here. Our goal here, again, is to continue to facilitate the First Amendment rights, keep the peace. So a couple majors into downtown, there's going to be continued hard traffic closures for the next couple of hours. They can expect that.
Okay, Captain, thank you very much for keeping us informed on that. Let's show you one more time. We're going to walk down to this other rally. We'll show you one more here. Like I was saying, this group here, a bit smaller. There's one group involved here called Ground Game, helped organize this, but I was talking to a number of the people in this group, and they mentioned that it's a kind of a number of different groups involved. Some of them here, people here just independently, not with any group, but generally speaking, the folks I talked to say they oppose what the other group is pushing for as far as those policies we were talking about with the LAUSD. So you see the group over there. I'm going to follow our photographer over here. He's gone on and over here. See if we can talk to someone over here real quick. Oh, I'm sorry. Zach, are you able? We're live right now. Are you able to?
Yeah, Constantine's the guy.
Oh, Constantine. Okay, Constantine. Chip with KTLA.
Hi, Chip.
Just tell me real quick, we were just talking a little bit about what brought some of your group out here. You're opposed to some of the things they're pushing for on that side over there. Tell me, what is it you oppose about the policies they're pushing for?
Well, I would actually like to say I'm not opposed to what they're pushing for. What they're standing for is an ability for parents to have input and to excuse their kids when there's issues they disagree with. Now, That's been true at LAUSD for decades. The problem is there's a misinformation campaign happening over there that the reason they're not allowed to to pull their kids out is because there's some larger conspiracy to groom the kids into some weird pedophilia ring. It's a horrifying ideology that they're pushing over there.
Well, let's talk specifically about one of the policies they're asking for. One of the policies they're asking for, and we've heard this in other school districts in Southern California, is that they feel they should be notified if their child asks a teacher to treat them as a different sex than what they were born as. So say a little fifth grader named Johnny comes in and asks that he now wants to be addressed as Lisa and say use the girls' bathroom. They think that's a situation they should be notified about, and they want to be notified within 3 days. Do you disagree with that at all?
So there's a three-word phrase that is used to diagnose kids who claim to be transgender. It's called persistent, consistent, and insistent. This is like medical professionals, psychologists. They are the ones who make the determination that the kid is very persistent in claiming that their gender is different than what they are currently, that they are insistent that they need to be changed, and that they're consistent in the phrasing that they're using, and it's not random and new and different. When we look at it through the lens of a medical diagnosis, we are not asking teachers to make those diagnoses, to say, oh, the kid is actually thinking this way, let me call the parents and do that. The policies we have in place, not only in LAUSD, but I'm from Burbank, I'm the mayor of Burbank, we have it there, we have it across the state, up and down California, that if a teacher hears something, that it's not their place to start informing parents, right? Only if it becomes a true need for the child. But if that kid is fearful, if the kid has expressed concerns that by saying this type of new information to their parents or family members puts them in danger, now we've got a situation where the teacher is in a position of possibly harming the child by informing the parent. So there's a lot of nuance to this, and we have to be able to allow the individual teacher and the school psychologist to work through that with the family.
So I think that's a long way of saying you don't agree with having a policy that would inform the parents if a child says something like that.
You cannot have a blanket policy. A one-size-fits-all policy has failed in every way that we've tried to implement it.
Okay, and Constantine, real quick, are you here with a group? I know we were just talking about there's different groups here. Are you here with a group?
So there's a number of groups here. Obviously, the largest group that's put this together is Queer Nation LA. They've done a really great job putting this together. I'm here as an individual. I'm not here as the mayor of Burbank. I'm way outside my district, but I am running for county supervisor, and I believe that LA County needs to address these issues and support all of the 88 cities and local school districts that are dealing with this. And so I'm putting that at the forefront of my campaign.
Hey, well, thank you very much for talking to us. We're going to try to make our way down. Let's go here to the sidewalk. We don't want to walk through the skirmish line here. We're going to make our way to the parental rights group now. If we could take, I think, do we still have Sky 5 HD up there? I believe we do. And you can kind of see, you probably have been seeing, if it's up there, kind of a broader view of the situation here. And like I said, it is, as you could tell there, a smaller group on that side. And just so you know, the folks taken into custody were on that side of the skirmish line where we were just at. Now we're making our way down here to the Leave Our Kids Alone rally that's going on. They had intended to have this rally in front of LAUSD headquarters. They had to stop here because of the skirmish lines. They're now at 3rd and Beaudry, just half a block away. So they've got the streets blocked off, and it looks like they're going forward with the rally they had planned, just in a slightly different location. So as we come up here, we're going to kind of cut through some of these photographers here. As you can see, they're getting some footage and make our way, and we want to make sure there's a different skirmish line here, because there's some things you don't want to do with skirmish lines. You don't want to upset the officers and go through. So thank you, sir. So here we go here. You see somebody is up there speaking. This is my first time. I'm going to tell you, we just got here before air. I just got here. We've had cameras here all day. I just made my way down here. See if we can, excuse me, sir. We're live on KTLA right now. You came down this road. Mind if we ask you, are you a parent in LAUSD?
I'm a parent at GUSD, Glendale Unified School District.
And what brought you out here? Why did you believe you needed to kind of make your voice heard here today?
Because I think that, parents have the right to teach their kids the right morals, the right values. and they're not allowing that. They're trying to take everything away from us, and we're standing with all the parents and making sure that doesn't happen.
And what about this policy? You heard the policy they're pushing for this group that would require parents to be notified if their child identified as a gender different than what they were born as. Do you agree that that policy needs to be
100%, because there was one time during during COVID that my son was being asked questions on the computer, and one of the questions was, "Are you male, female, or listed other listed?" And we don't want that to happen, because we have the right. We want the right to control our kids, and they're not allowing that. So they're trying to push it. They're trying to push other agendas, and we're against that. So,
do you think there is any middle ground between the side up there? One gentleman we talked to up there just said he agrees to a point of notifying parents, but he doesn't want a blanket policy, basically implying that because some parents aren't as understanding as others, and harm might come to some children.
That is not true. That is definitely not true. We're not against LGBTQ. We have friends, we have neighbors, we have everybody that's around us, but we're not against them. There's people out here that are LGBTQ, and they're with us, standing with us. They're saying that it's not right for the kids to be taught things that, once they grow up, they're in high school, they're going to learn all that, which that's how we did. I grew up here. But now that I'm seeing that, they're trying to push it on elementary school kids that don't really understand, they're still sponge trying to learn, we got to drift them to the right direction, not the wrong direction.
What was your name, sir?
Chris Shakbazi.
Okay, well, thanks for talking to me. Appreciate it. So that's it from now. We'll leave you with that, but we'll kind of show you some of the footage over here. You see someone's on a stage, a kind of a pickup truck stage, if you will. Actually, he's not on stage. He's right over here on the ground there. So this is from live downtown, still going on. Don't know how long these streets are going to be blocked off, but for now, reporting live in downtown LA. I'm Chip Yost. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Chip Yost getting both sides of that issue. We're going to
All right, now to that heated face-off in downtown LA, a parental rights group clashing with LGBTQ supporters over transgender notification in LAUSD schools. The marchers say they do have the right to know if their kids identify as transgender.
But LGBTQ advocates, they say this could put students at risk if their families are not accepting. KTLA's Chip Yost joins us live from downtown LA. Chip.
Yeah, hey there, Pedro and Sandra. We are here at LAUSD headquarters, where the LAPD had to be called in earlier to keep the peace between two different groups who had very different views on parental rights. Outside the Los Angeles Unified School District headquarters Tuesday, parental rights groups squared off against a smaller group of LGBTQ supporters over LAUSD policies involving children. The parental rights groups say LAUSD officials should be required to notify parents if, for example, a boy comes to school and tells the teacher he now wants to be identified as a girl.
We want, in law, a parental notification measure to let us in on how our child is being raised. But the fact of the matter is we have people who are fighting us against it because they want to hide things from parents.
Some on the other side said such a blanket policy could be harmful.
If that kid is fearful, if the kid has expressed concerns that by saying this type of new information to their parents or family members puts them in danger, now we've got a situation where the teacher is in a position of possibly harming the child.
One moment. As things got tense between the two sides, the LAPD formed skirmish lines to keep the two sides separated, and at least 3 people were seen being taken into custody. Tell me, what was the situation there where these folks were taken into custody?
Preliminary information is that some of them were becoming violent, pushing officers. They may have been throwing some items, and at which point that's when our officers went in and made arrests.
Now, as you could probably tell from that Sky 5 HD video, a number of streets here in downtown had to be closed while this was going on. However, both groups have now dispersed, and the streets here in downtown are back open. For now, reporting live in downtown LA, I'm Chip Yost, KTLA 5 News.
Chip, thank you.